Hey guys, Kyle here. The topics of today's episode are Jeffrey Epstein, self-denial, the mess of immigration, if Alberta should separate or not, hope for the future, and if we have it, and our live event and some help that I need on the podcast. Let's get into it.
Beautiful.
No clue what we're talking about today.
No, I have no clue. I have not looked at the notes yet. Let me move this over. Welcome back to another episode of the Briefcase The Barn, a series of the Furious, Curious show where we're talking about business, life, Christianity, and more. Episode 81?
No idea.
82?
No idea.
I don't know. Last week was Matt. No Matt today.
Okay. Did you ask him to come back today?
No, I did not.
Okay. Yeah, that was too much after the last time. Fair enough.
Too much.
Fair enough. No, that's
Too
fair.
much. Yeah.
Love Matt.
I did think about a whole bunch of what he said, though, that we don't talk about victory enough.
There's not a lot of victory in my life. That's probably why I don't talk about it.
See, I thought the opposite. I thought we do talk a lot about the victory in our life, because I've talked about how the miracle of God saving my marriage, and
That's kind of how you describe it, though. I think I probably do talk about it less. I would be very inclined to, I would not want to veer into the, and I'm sure I already do, but I wouldn't want to intentionally veer into the sounds like I'm bragging camp. So I'd be very cautious of.
Well, I'm also just aware of how crippled I still am.
Yeah, me too.
And so what I can go back to. And so it's, when you talk about victory, it's just like, man, it's pride comes before the fall.
Pride comes before the fall. Yeah. And it's a long ways down for some of us.
You're way higher than me.
Well, I just know how I try to be cognizant of how quickly you could go from wherever you are at to I just think of, think of Job, and you think of others that were doing really well.
Yeah.
Just finished reading a little while ago about Joseph, right? Joseph in the coat, and soon he was sold by his brothers. I mean, it was all meant to be. It was all meant to be, but that would have been pretty devastating, right?
Yeah.
From being your favorite child of your father to
rejected,
to being sold to slaves and trucked to another country. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's a real story. It's it's not just some made up stuff. Yeah, it's wild.
Neither of us feel like being here today, and it's already apparent.
Energy is probably so low. Okay, whatever. Let's get into it. Jeffrey Epstein. Did you read up on any of that this week? The new files that came out. Have you seen anything like that on Twitter?
I don't ever do deep dives into that stuff. So I see piles of content.
Yeah.
I see redacted email threads, et cetera, but I guess even now with couple things. One is, I mean, he's dead.
Yeah.
Most likely killed, I would assume.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. It totally makes sense that he was whacked.
Yeah.
Or he killed himself, either or whatever.
I think he was whacked.
Yeah.
But.
Anyways, we won't get into that. There's for sure people yelling at the radio right now. He killed himself. Are you stupid, Baars? But I just haven't done that much digging on it.
Yeah.
And I just don't know how important it is whether he was whacked or not. I mean, you play in that space, bad things happen irregardless. He was sounding like he was doing some really gross things. So I'm not even well versed on all the scope of the horrible things. I just find it. So when most of my stuff would be, I'm mostly on Twitter, and so I see the redacted emails and this person. But I guess the world we live in now with AI and how much fake stuff is out there. First of all, how is it going to affect my life if I do? It's just not that important to me. I pray that justice would be served, and regardless of whatever happens to all the powerful people, obviously all the victims and the horrible things that have happened to them are their lives probably not going to get better through it, which is awful. And I just think there's ways that we practically, speak for myself, can practically get in the trenches and make a difference. And it's going to be in my own little small circle.
Yeah.
Pouring into the kids that are in our home and other people, and just be encouraging to kids. And so, I just think the idea of hey, obviously seek justice, and there's probably, I'm sure there's other things that nobody's talking about that are happening right now, in our local community, or what I mean? There'd be, so I don't know.
I just think so. The Justice Department, I think at the middle of November, Trump signed something into law saying that all the files that come out and they all a whole bunch came out within 30 days that they were supposed to come out in,
And some didn't.
and some didn't.
Okay.
And so yesterday, another like 3 million files got released. And so all the stuff's coming out. But it is just so awful. Like it is.
I saw one comment that somebody commented and said, "How did this guy have time to abuse anyone when he's so busy writing emails?" There were a lot of emails.
There were a lot of
powerful.
emails.
Are those all real emails?
A lot of it, yeah.
It's a very weird way to communicate, all by email.
Yeah, I mean it's all verifiable. This is not like one's
It's not
disputing
made up
that.
crap.
No.
Okay.
And just like crazy things like Bill Gates trying to like asking for STD pills so he could drug his wife because he was sleeping with some Russian girls or something. Like,
is that true?
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
Is
his
he
wife, his
acknowledging-
ex-wife, went on video today and talked about it.
What a bunch of carnage!
Like and just awful abuse. Like there's talks about murders in there.
I'd be
like
careful what you say on here, but yeah,
just awful, awful things.
Family friendly podcast.
But yeah, I was just shocked by it,
Okay.
and I was just kind of like, I've been really rattled by it almost. And then I seen somewhere yesterday about how in the Old Testament, how they did the sacrifice of like babies and things like that, and all that stuff, and how that's just basically man's nature. Especially these people aren't Christians; they're open about that, and then you give them a whole bunch of money and a whole bunch of power, and leave them over to themselves. Basically, like do whatever you want to do. Like you do that over 50 years.
Really bad things transpire.
Really bad things happen.
Yeah, it's really awful.
Like a good, healthy Christian can barely handle wealth and power. Never mind.
Yeah. A person who's not saved.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess on the flip side, there are people there are people that are not Christian that are very wealthy that don't do gross things. So, I mean, I don't know.
That's true.
There's no rhyme or reason, really. I think the biggest issue is when people try to understand awful things.
Yeah, I mean,
there's a lot of things that you just are not going to understand.
It just proves their depravity.
It does. So are any of these famous, quote unquote, rich and famous people, are any of them responding to these allegations? Or are they just literally saying nothing? Are they being interrogated, or
a whole bunch went on interviews like 5 years ago, like Prince Andrew and Bill Gates and basically that, and spoke up against allegations that none of this was true and everything was fine and kosher and stuff like that. And now all these emails are coming out and realizing that's all bullshit. It's all lies. Okay. And they were very involved. And so I don't know. I don't really believe justice really happens in that level.
I don't think it happens on this earth. So
that's true. Yeah. Well, it did actually. Not really. On the cross.
Yeah. Well, I just think people that are looking for justice in their day-to-day life with people that have wronged them, I think you're going to be sorely disappointed. I think that's why forgiveness is so important.
Yeah. I actually had some really big stuff like that on in my EMDR stuff right now on just accepting what's happened in the past. It's important.
Yeah.
Accept, forgive.
Move on.
We can't fix it. Right? You can't change it.
Can't stay shackled to the past.
And you can't fix it.
People do though, man. People are fueled by rage and anger. Because
I
talk to a lot of other people too, and a lot of people tell me their family drama and the things they're dealing with. And I'm just like, man, the energy it takes to be angry is just and bitter. It takes a lot of energy. It's exhausting. Yeah. So, but ultimately, it's really hard to still let go. I totally get it.
Yeah. When's the last time you cried?
Oh, not recent enough. Yeah, I did actually, but I'm not going to share the story.
Okay, that's fine.
Can't share the story. Not my place to share it.
Okay. Did you get any more feedback from the episode with Marie?
All good. Yeah, all good. Mostly just a lot of weird guys saying they could listen to her voice all day.
Oh,
I could listen to her all day. It was really strange. Wasn't sure if I should be worried. No, it was. I had multiple people call me and say it was kind of like, because of how I talk about marriage, they were like, "Well, what I really found fascinating and really encouraging is that it seems like you guys really love each other. It seems like you have a really good relationship. It was really special." I'm like, okay. She was just gone, right? So
Oh yeah, that's right. You were on your own.
I was on my own
days?
for four nights. With,
She went
all the kids.
to like some
Pennsylvania to a foster and adoptive conference, which is an amazing conference.
That's a yearly thing she does?
Yeah, there's 1,200 ladies from all over the U.S. and Canada, mostly the U.S.
Okay,
but
wow.
definitely some ladies.
So did she come back like right pumped?
No, it's not that kind of conference. It's not hyper spiritual. It's way more. It was very aligned with the talk that the couple gave at our church. Which
I wasn't there.
It was phenomenal. It was
a
call to self-denial.
Okay, I'll put it in the show notes, guys.
Yeah, if it's posted, it would be really cool. I want to say that maybe they
call to self-denial.
Yeah, that was basically the gist of the talk, because there was first a large group setting where the couple from Vancouver, I forget their names now, seemed like a really great couple. They gave the talk, their adoptive foster family, and then we went into the small group that Marie and I led, and a few other couples, but. The bulk of the conference that she went to. And then there was all these breakout sessions where you'd be getting help and advice on, and just.
You were on your own for 6 days.
Yeah. I mean, the first 2 days, Thursday, Friday, of course, kids were at school and there was a bit of breaks, but even then, right. Like taking the 3-year-old with me to all my meetings and just awkward, just carnage. Yeah. We went and did a hike Saturday and Sunday went reasonably well. At church, I was just pulling my hair out. Right? It's kids.
You're pulling your hair out on Saturday already, because I was like, just coming to my house and said,
no. These kids are going.
It would have been great though. You got to watch the game, and they could have ran around and would have fed you.
Unhinged.
Yeah. Unhinged. I don't care though if the stuff gets broken to an extent.
I do care. I care way too much.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Malachi's actually at his he saved enough money now to pay for he took a rock to my car about 1.5 years ago on like 4 panels.
Yeah.
And so his consequence was he had to collect enough cans to pay to fix it. And so he's collected enough cans now over the last 1.5 years
to pay to fix the car.
Yeah, so we're going to go to the fix it place together. He's gonna take the money with him and he's gonna pay for it. And
are you going to tell these people that your kid's paying to fix the car?
Yeah. I went there the first time, and I when we got the quote, we took him with, and I said, "Hey,
this quote needs to be good for 6 years, so my kid can collect enough pop cans to pay for this thing." Could be a long-term payment plan.
My goal is to teach him.
Yeah, it's really cool. We do that too. I don't know. It just doesn't seem to have the impact. Like our kids have money saved up too, and like they wreck something, and I grab the money out, and
that's why I'm going to work for. I have to work for it.
I mean, the oldest couple for sure, all our kids work, but the oldest ones really work for it. They mow. He came and scrubbed cars with me at the car dealership the other day at the auto repair shop.
Malcolm needs a hockey stick right now for on the pavement outside, so it's like $80.
Okay, he's buying a nice stick.
That's what he wants. So we basically gave him a list of like 10 different things to do. It'll take him 1 or 2 weeks to do it, and then once he's done.
Does he really work on his own? Is he pretty motivated? When he's motivated, he can stay direct.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
He might cut some corners, so he might have to check back on a few things.
Okay.
Yeah.
We have all levels of work ethic and attention to detail in our family. It's very interesting watching kids work. He
motors.
Okay.
When he wants something.
When he wants it, yeah.
Okay, you have in here, Canada will require refugees and asylum seekers to pay co-health care starting in May. They will have to pay 30% of the cost of services such as dental, optometry, and physiotherapy. Don't we get that now? I don't have that coverage. And the $4 flat rate for each prescription.
So I don't know the exact criteria of what it is now, but just that headline, and then I clicked on the article. It was just pretty disturbing how, I guess, it's very much the immigration policy is completely has been broken in Canada. Most people would acknowledge that. Even people that are very left leaning would acknowledge that in the last few years.
What's broken about it?
Just the amount of people that they brought in. It was unsustainable for the infrastructure that we have.
Stupid for the government to say we're bringing this many people in.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's opposed to immigration. Pretty much everybody in the country.
Okay, but I wasn't sure what you meant by the system.
I'm just saying importing too many people, and obviously people that are not necessarily, like a lot of them were refugees, right?
Yeah.
Which there again, all of us have supported refugees in varying degrees from varying countries and would agree that's a good thing. I just think that even good things become good. Yeah, background checks and more, even just the idea of fiscal responsibility. It's like, okay, how are we going to look after these people long term? Yeah, we can just bring in as many as we want, but if the rest of the system's broken and now healthcare as a whole is way worse in Canada and way more money, and we're not You know, it's
That's
not
right.
it's not being, you know, there's like Chilliwack's a great example. You know, I've lived here my whole life, and we have the same Chilliwack hospital that we had when there was a third of the people here.
Yeah.
Well, like at some point, the provincial government that fall under their jurisdiction, they should be like, oh, hey, here's our plan to expand healthcare in Chilliwack, right, and all these other communities. And I thought it was interesting because a couple of months ago, I think now it was, I was at that party a month ago, talking about how it was when the Dutch people immigrated, our forefathers back, well, not yours because you came more recently, but you know, ours back in the 50s, like you were on your own and your community was looking after you, and they didn't even have anything, or at least that's how it sounds. Like, you know, everybody was poor, but what little they had was pretty cool, right? They were helping each other. So I think we've just veered so far from that model of the idea of like, hey, we're just handouts, expectations. Like, people will figure it out. Like, I would assume, especially people from other countries that had nothing, like they've been scrapping their whole life. Like,
That's right.
You would think that they would come here.
Immigrants usually do the best because they learn how to work so hard the first years when they get here.
Yeah. So I think creating a model of, that's what was concerning to me. I'm like, are we creating a model of, hey, you just go to this place and it's taken care of? Like when they came from, it just didn't seem that healthy to me. It was concerning.
No.
So my concern with these types of policies that were so far one way is that very quickly, and that, I mean, I sat beside a guy on a plane going to Mexico a few weeks ago, not a Christian fellow, probably talked to him for 2 hours, in the oil and gas business from Alberta, but he was building a house in Kitsilano, like a brand new house. Pretty interesting story. And he was just talking about how his view was of Pierre Poilievre, you know, like very different than me, didn't appreciate him. He was too much of a populist, too much, you know, probably too much Trump-like, I guess, basically is probably how he would say it. Yeah. Which isn't fair, because I mean, Pierre Poilievre does not say, he's not near as derogatory. He's pretty polished. He's, you know, the stance that he takes, I think, is there again. I wouldn't agree with every last thing, but I would agree with the bulk of what he says. And he's mostly just about being fiscally conservative. You know, and outside of that, I wouldn't even say he's even that conservative, to be really honest. In a lot of ways, right? Socially, I don't think he's conservative hardly at all. That's right. So it was just interesting sitting beside this guy in the plane and how he's viewing it. And I think what happens is, so this guy's right leaning still, like he would still be conservative, right? Just not a fan of Pierre Poilievre. But I think what happens is now we have very divided politics, or at least this is how I view it. And what happens is same with the First Nations thing. Like we go from like, you know, being too far one way where it's like, hey, we're enabling everything. There's never a question asked to now people finding the pendulum swung so far where it's like, screw those people, or, hey, we're done with immigration, you know, probably a little more like Maxime Bernier, right? Where it's just speaking so negatively of it. And I wouldn't agree with that. I think it's not realistic. We have a birth rate in Canada where we have to have immigration. We're screwed if we don't bring people in, or people need to, you know, up it. From those of you that are listening to 7 kids, you need to up the game, right? Like it's.
But while the problem's still happening, you don't want to say
it's hard to be nuanced in that moment. Okay, fair enough. I guess my real concern is now where it's like, hey, obviously the pendulum's swinging, and I just think so quickly it can.
Do you think it's actually swinging?
I guess I've always viewed it as people that are very right leaning and, let's say, you know, socially conservative and Christian people, you know, like those people obviously always had issues with these things. They could see practically that this is not smart. They're, you know, a lot of them are probably pretty grounded and pretty well balanced and still caring people, but are just like, hey, probably had the courage maybe even to speak out. Now you have a whole nother swath of people that are not Christians, don't care about the gospel, don't care necessarily. They're just like, hey, this just doesn't work. Like these are the podcasts that I'll listen to, where it's like you can just hear some random dude going off thinking, there's no wonder we have 7-hour waits at a hospital. We imported 4 million people in the last 5 years and didn't build we built 3 new hospitals in that whole time and all, or whatever the number is, right? I'm just speaking off now, but so I find it very discouraging when we get into these spots where you can't ask any questions forever. And now I feel like we enter the spot where we get real divided, where either you're pro-immigration or anti-immigration. It's like, no, like we should be able to land somewhere in the you know, and I have foreign workers that work on my farm, right? And they've been working on our farm for almost 4 years now. And in the past, back under, you know, Justin Trudeau days, they would have instantly be able to be permanent residents. Well, now there's huge pushback to even allow these people and even to get their work permit extended. So you're just going to start to see like, hey, these people have been an invaluable part of at least the economy in my farm. And it's just like, boom, we have this huge pushback to immigration and to people coming in from other countries. And there again, I just think you got to be a little careful. You don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. So
yeah, I mean, because what concerns me most is the media mainly, and I think it's extremely left wing or like
As a general rule,
quasi
for sure.
propaganda
For sure.
arm
It
of,
is.
of
It
the
is.
government.
It is.
And
There was an article about that in the National Post too
Okay.
recently. That literally the studies show that they are pounding out government supportive articles on all news stories.
Yeah, like even like how much money what's his name? Carney just gave the CBC an extra $150 million this year on top of what they were already getting, which was a crazy amount. Like
he had to reward them, right? Because I mean, Pierre Poilievre was going to axe funding to the CBC.
Yeah, but either way, I'm just saying that's what people are watching, and they generally those articles vilify the other side. They don't just say we disagree with them. We like it's like very like you are less than human names, whatever. Just cut them down. And so if you push people into a corner, you're going to fight back. And I think that's what's happening. It's like it's just you're being lied to a certain degree. And then you're also being told, though, that you're the problem and you're like less than for even thinking that, like, hey, what are you doing to my country? Like, this isn't okay, or taxes or whatever else like that. And then you don't give them anything. You're going to get real angry people. And unfortunately, I think that then makes the situation worse because then they say, see, you can't trust these guys because they
and exacerbates
go crazy
the problem.
or whatever.
Yeah, well, that's fair.
And so that's, that it's really frustrating. And I think with the amount of immigration, someone asked me this week, what do I think about the homelessness problem? Like, how do you fix that problem? And I think first you have to think about why these people are becoming homeless in the first place. Like, there's a host of different reasons that have been there all along, but it's increasing, right? It's more and more people becoming homeless. Well, and it's a lot of white guys. And there's no money, there's no purpose to live. There's nothing, like, you've taken away like the incentives to push hard and get things done. And it's driven, I think, mainly by government policy. And a lot of things we can't fix about that with the economy or how much money the government has put into the economy or all these reasons why, like, poverty is increasing. And so it's easy to go on drugs when you're in that spot. And then there's a system that enables it, that allows it, because you get everything for free in that system. There's not a lot of incentives to get out. You get, free
You
meals.
Definitely get fed. Yeah,
You get
definitely
fed, really
get
good,
fed.
but you can
you
get,
have a
like,
place
help
to
with,
sleep. Yeah,
you can find places to do drugs. It's very, like, it's not.
it's very enabling.
Very enabling.
It's very enabling.
Even though I know there's ways to help and stuff like that. And so I think that's, first of all, where you got to focus on. It's like, why is this happening in the first place? We've got to deal with that. But then the people that are there, if we can't change it, we got to love them where they're at. And meet their needs.
What does that mean, right?
Yeah, I think
that's a loaded question too. What does it mean to love someone where
we're
they're
not
at?
enabling.
Yeah.
Like that.
We're not even to condone behavior. Like, why condone bad behavior?
Yeah. I picked up two guys. I don't know if I shared the story on here before, but I picked up two guys like a year ago, and spent some time with them, and I was trying to figure out what they thought about the issue, like from their perspective, and they said,
Oh, yeah, I did share that.
I did share it.
It's coming back to me. Yeah, it's
Okay,
coming.
so one of the things they shared was they wanted to, they needed to talk to somebody to, like, work things through of, like, what's happened, and I think about, like, all the different things I've kind of had to process through, like stuff that happened to me as a kid or things like that. It took talking to somebody, an actual professional, over a long period of time to, like,
Sort what's going on in the
unpack it
noggin.
and stuff like that. It wasn't like trying harder, or it wasn't, it was actual, like, things like freedom sessions and processing things. These guys don't have an opportunity to do that. They're so alone. So they're getting their daily needs met and stuff like that. But, like, when you're hurting that bad, it's pretty hard to just stop. But yeah, I think it's being pushed from the government side down. Like, I think there's just too much. It's expensive. It's expensive out there to live right now. The government has made it much worse. If you think it's about since 2015 compared to now, it's much more expensive.
Ironically, because of all the free money they gave.
Yeah.
I remember in the middle of we were fostering, right? And all of a sudden, like, we're sending the kids back to visits to go see their birth parents, and, like, the birth parents have new phones and new crap, and of course they've never worked, but it's like, well, all of a sudden now, they all applied for them. They were giving out the $2,000 to every person. Well, it's a lot of money when you multiply it by 20 million people, or however many people are grabbing this cash, right?
I did a calculation this week. If someone made $300,000 a year here as a wage in BC and then moved to Florida, how much they would save per year making the same wage. And I said to include really good health care. So like that cost, whatever that would be, because you would have to pay for your
Yeah,
healthcare.
you'd pay a lot in the US, you'd pay a lot.
It was $55,000.
Further ahead, yeah.
That's wild. Like, think about that being pumped back into the economy. If people were taking that extra stuff home and it wasn't being spent on 40% of the population.
Yeah, I mean, the U.S. doesn't charge enough taxes, though, right? That's why they run $7 trillion deficits every year right now, right? So their model doesn't work either.
Never the solution.
Fair enough, but the gap's made up somehow.
Unless you're advocating for that now.
No, I'm just advocating for a balanced budget. And it's going to be a combination, even in our country, it will be a combination of raising taxes and cutting spending. It's not going to be done on one end of the spectrum anymore with how big the gap is.
They need to cut spending so hard.
Yeah, good luck. So are all the people that vote for them.
Yeah, anyways. Some mailbag questions.
Have not looked at the show notes. Do not know what's coming.
I don't either here. Alberta independence, good or bad? What's your take? Will it happen? I don't think it's going to happen. I think it'd be really cool if it did.
Why do you think it'd be cool?
Oh, because it just get more free. Don't stop letting them abuse you. You got those.
What do you do with Highway 1 that runs right through the middle of that great nation that we're going to have in the middle of our previous country?
Put a little border in.
Just toll that sucker?
Yeah, put some guys
pass
there.
Through
go through
Alberta.
Here. We've been paying for your shit for the last 50 plus years. Now it's time for you to.
There's 17 listeners that are just loving this. A couple angry Albertans.
Or if they join America.
I find it fascinating because I grew up, you're probably a little younger than me. I don't know if you remember it, but like when the Reform Party was strong, right? And I was a kid and I used to read the BC Report. Okay. And it was just fascinating how that level of, well, way more than that now. Obviously it's gone a little, because of social media, I think it's easier too, right? Where people can post stuff and it quickly gains traction. But just the idea of independence from Ottawa, right? And you I don't know if you've seen the picture of the big fat pig laying on the ground, right? And that's, the pig is Alberta, right? And then you have all the, you have the Ottawa and all the eastern provinces sucking on the pig, right? It's just like, I can see it be.
Yeah, I think the best governance is closest to where you are. Like too much power is given for too far away.
Oh, I see. You're not a true federalist then.
No, like smaller areas, even like just like give as much responsibility to the counties. And to the lower levels, like the schools are going to be better. Everything's going to be better when you have like
ownership to the okay. I would agree with that. It is tough though, right? When you're a country, and I mean that's what's ironic in Canada, where we've given all that independence to Quebec, but no other province gets it. It's complete BS, right? It's like
now it's going the other way. Now it's just not going provinces like how it was going provinces to like the power goes to the country. Now the power is going to go to like one big global countries like that. That's
one world order. World order.
Yeah, whatever that is,
straight from the horse's mouth.
That's right. Yeah.
The interesting too, because even I've seen it at the municipal level where the provincial government holds control over. They can make blanket laws which do affect municipalities, and they did it recently, and there's huge pushback. And I mean, I was against it right away. Yeah. Just the idea of how they said that there could be, basically 6 plexes or 8 plexes or 4 plexes on any street. Well, when you buy in a certain area in Sardis in our town, you do not want a 4-plex next door. You literally pay a premium in these areas.
And you don't live in Chilliwack. Piss off. This is Chilliwack's decision, right? That's
just blanket statements to try to deal with the problem is just not wisdom, right? So it is pretty interesting. So it'll be interesting to see how the Alberta, I mean, like I say, I see it with friends that I follow on Facebook and stuff, and they're posting their Alberta separatist. Definitely should get one of those people on here. On this, I think we could have a robust discussion and ask them why they want to leave our great nation.
Yeah. Because
Canada's a great country, eh?
Canada is an awesome country.
It's an awesome country.
I think it's sad being an immigrant myself, coming here in '96 and thinking about where.
Do you call yourself an immigrant?
Yeah, I'm an immigrant.
Is that way? That's the angle you're coming from now? Okay.
No, I'm not in the sense of like I didn't come from some third world country, but I didn't get the cultural things. Like I didn't grow up like skating. I didn't go ice hockey things like that. I was a European,
he's
hardcore. He sat behind a desk, or he was in meetings. That's what was my dad. So, And if I look at like I remember reading the news quite early already, and kind of like where Canada was, and to see it literally deteriorate in a ton of different ways sucks. Like, this could be a super epic country. Like, we have so many resources we could get so much money out of, and the quality of life could increase a lot, and we could actually have a lot of money to help the homeless and like build better infrastructure and invest in.
Just have a rich country.
Yeah.
Just get rid of some red tape. And it could happen yet, right?
You need some chainsaws up in Ottawa.
On Parliament Hill.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like we didn't debate that per se, although you're more in favor of it than I would be by the sounds of it.
Of what
Are you actually in favor of Alberta separating, or is it you just...
I don't know if as someone living in BC, I would suck, because they are a big part of
If you
Canada.
lived in Alberta, would you want to separate?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Okay.
Hopefully there's not too many people like you living in Alberta. There's probably more than I realized.
Yeah, I mean, I get
There's a
it.
huge amount of public servants there too, though, and they would not agree with that, right? Like, that's they have the same issue in Alberta. That the bulk of the people live in Calgary and actually in Edmonton, and Edmonton's very left-leaning city, right? So
the government is always going to talk about their own self-interest, best interest. Yeah. So for the people, listen to the people.
Yeah.
Okay. Best YouTube channel, streaming service, content for watching with the family, kids. Do you watch anything specifically with the kids?
Not on YouTube, no.
No?
No. I mean, we have Angel Media.
Okay.
Which is like a quote-unquote Christian app, but I wouldn't even dare recommend it for who knows what's all on there. Right. Like, to be frank, like we've looked at what they're watching, so like we're picking what they're allowed to watch on there, but I wouldn't just say, hey, it's a great app.
Yeah. I got 2% here on my computer. I got, we'll watch a couple gun shows. And we'll watch some hunting shows.
Like people shooting each other? Or?
No, just like gun reviews.
Okay.
What's the guy's name? I forget these channels' name. Outdoor Boys.
Top notch.
Dude Perfect.
Yeah.
How Ridiculous.
Okay, I've never heard of that one.
A few other ones like that.
Okay.
And
Outdoor Boys is really wholesome. That guy,
he quit now, or he uploads once in a while.
But
his son, he had good stuff.
I had never even heard of him until the day he announced that he quit, and that's how I saw it. I saw it on Twitter, and then I went to his channel, and I was watching with the kids. I'm like, hey, this is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I have lots of friends that.
Yeah, we'll watch that, and we'll watch maybe like I don't know what it's called, some kids movie.
Okay.
Like once in a while, do a movie night, like 2 or 3 times a year. Something like that. I usually can't sit still that long, so.
Okay. Speaking of which, I'm just remembering that last week we recorded an hour and a half. It'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, it was like it was 123.
Okay,
total.
Pretty long.
Yeah. Oh, remove all the stuff that Matt wanted out.
It's quite a bit.
Yeah, reduced like 7 minutes or something. It's crazy.
All his best content.
Are you hopeful for the future? Will your kids be better off than you are, given everything going on in the world today?
Well, if they're Christians, they will be.
Yeah, what does it mean to be better off? What are the terms of what is defined better
What does
off?
that mean? Yeah, what does that mean? Need more detail on the question.
Are you hopeful for the future?
I'm very hopeful for the future.
Really?
Yeah.
In what way?
I guess I just think big picture, right? Marie and I often talk about it. I just think you really want to live in light of eternity. And that's kind of, as much as I can, I try to live in the light of that. And I really struggle with it because I'm very materialistic. But I just think, even for our kids, like, you know what, we're called no matter what season we're in, no matter what things look like on this earth, no matter what political parties in power, all these things that we talk about all day long and have strong opinions. Like, as Christians, we're just called to live, to be a light in that. And I mean, the early Christian church, there were people literally getting impaled on stakes and lit on fire as torches. And like, that's the gospel spread, and it spread through China, and it spreads in other countries, and it's spreading in the Middle East, which is a lot of Muslims and whatever. And I just think we in North America have very entitled that we have lived in, like, basically, especially our forefathers, right? Let's say in the 50s, 60s, 70s, for sure in the 50s and stuff, it was like basically the bulk of the people were probably nominal Christians for sure, right? And I just think, hey, that's no more. And even for me, I'd like to think that that's the best. And sometimes I even think I should move to a place like that. but I'm not sure that's what we're called to do. Obviously, because I'm still here. And I think like the idea of like, hey, I could move anywhere. I could move to Texas. I could move to other parts of the world. And I just think, hey, are we called? We're just called to be the salt and the light wherever we are. And that could be like Joseph in the prison. And then he was the leader of the, I'm assuming pagan country of Egypt. And I think for us, it's like, it's going to, in our own little world, whatever that is, we're just called to do the right thing. And I think people antagonize way too much about bringing utopia to earth. Yeah, you nailed it. It's the world is full of sinful people, including us, and we are just called to try to do the right thing in each moment, right? So,
yeah, I think about two things. I think about Israel when Jesus came. What they were hoping was that he was going to like become like a warlord or like a guy that was going to conquer Rome, and like they were going to have all their freedom back, and like everything was going to be great on earth. But he's like, I didn't come to save you from the Romans. No. I came to save the world. I came to save you guys from yourselves. And they wanted an earthly king. And I think we still want that now too. Like we want everything to go back to normal in Canada and
whatever normal is.
Yeah. Everything's right and stuff like that. But it's like, it's this earthly view, and that's not, this world is fading and it's infected and it needs to be made new, right? It's going to get ultimately totally destroyed. And
I do think it's a bit of a bias too, where people think that everything was the good old days is how it's always been. People 60 years ago would have said that too. It's actually not reality.
No, John Piper says this in a sermon. He goes, the last 300 years in Christianity in North America have been an anomaly compared to the history of Christianity, when there's usually been the minority and in suffering and under persecution. Yeah. It's been like, this has been an odd little blip, whatever. And so we're just going back to normal.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't want to be persecuted, but.
No, neither do I. No, I mean, I think about it on this podcast too, with these like new laws coming in and stuff like that. I'm like, what's like, am I going to get arrested? Like in the UK they do. So that, is that 2 years away from me? Like that makes me uncomfortable. I do think about that. You think about that?
About getting arrested?
Yeah.
It's happened to me.
Again?
Again.
For something you said on here?
Again. So that would be very strange, but I could totally see it happening.
Yeah.
And I think that, the world we live in, it's the thought police is out there and people are, we're putting ourselves out there, I think. And that's why people don't. And that's the irony of people that even you ask to come on here. They don't come on here because they're just scared of what people think. And they're scared of what, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not scared of what people think. I am scared of being arrested.
That's obvious.
Like, I don't want that. I think about my boys. But yeah, the other thing I was going to say, though, is I've been reading more up on Daniel recently.
Okay.
And some books from him and stuff. And my mom actually used to say to me growing up, she's like, Kyle, don't be David, be Daniel. And, David cheated on his wife, and Daniel was upright. So I, of course, didn't listen.
Yeah. Unfortunate.
But anyways, Daniel, he was like trained in Israel to be like one of the top. He got like the top training in school and like physical. He had to like look the best. He was like the ultimate stud, and he was like hyper trained to be like to serve in the King's Palace or something else like that. To basically like top Navy SEAL type thinking, kind of guy. And then they got Babylon overthrew Jerusalem, and he got captured and sent over to Babylon. And of course, he stayed faithful, and his faith was tested many times. But he became a ruler in a wicked, country that was totally anti-God from what he was used to. But he was faithful in it, right? He kept believing in God while he was doing all that, and he did his best with what he had. And so I was thinking more just I want to raise my boys to be Daniels, because they're probably going to end up in a very secular
I think
world.
Even we are. That's a great analogy. I think that's probably we don't talk about enough, about just being a Daniel in Babylon.
That's right. Yeah. And so like raising our boys to get ready for that, right? Daniel was trained a long time. Even his training in Israel helped him helped him in Babylon when he was a ruler there. So like, what are we doing with our boys now? Like, are we? I think about it. I'm like, when they're 18, they got to be ready to go.
I find it fascinating, even for myself. I mean, we were just on a holiday, and it's fascinating how I pray anywhere. I don't care, but I still care. And it's fascinating how we worry about what people think. It's fascinating how we don't, and I always think of that. I don't know where it says in the Bible, but God basically says, hey, if you're ashamed of me, watch out, or whatever, or I'll be I don't even know. I'm going to butcher the text now, but just that idea. Right. And I think that, hey, it's important that we have confidence and that we just talk to God about it. First of all, start there, right? That's what I do. It's like, hey, in your heart, right? It's like, hey, how come I'm struggling with this? Sorry, I'm struggling with this. Repent of that. Yeah. And I just think, hey, there's something really beautiful of being uncomfortable and just, being okay, being different. And we should look different. Yeah. Yeah. It shouldn't just be that, hey, we're, people that have a list of weird things that we do. Yeah. We should be way more loving. We should be way more generous. We should be caring for people that struggle, right? And I think if we have that culture, we still probably, nobody will appreciate it. And obviously people that, are going to be coming after us, and the devil's coming after Christians. But I just think there's oftentimes we do focus way too much on kind of, we do this because and they're just weird rules and regulations that we've kind of created, or That's things that we do. And they're not any of those things are inherently wrong, but that shouldn't be the backbone for what we're actually doing. Like it should, it's supposed to come from a love for the Lord. And if it's not, we need to ask ourselves why it's not, right? And I think often we get into these weird, every denomination in church does, we get into these weird traditions and practices that we do, and that's how we stand out. And there again, it's not wrong that we do. It's the idea of, hey, what is the basis of our,
That's right.
Do we have faith? Right? Yeah. Or do we just call ourselves Christians?
Yeah. What do you have faith in? Yeah.
Yeah. So it's pretty interesting.
What you focus on grows, I think, is important. Like what you focus on grows. What you think about a lot, what you spend your time with, that's what grows. And so I think the only way to really change is to read the Bible. Like it's not just any ordinary book. Like it has power behind it. And if you actually take time to read it a lot, you will change. Like it won't be because you tried harder. It's because you'll understand.
It was
actually believe it and want it. Like and you just got to start reading it. Like just read it every day. Just read it. Yeah. Like, and it's the one thing where I believe Satan's involved in this, and the demons and stuff like that are always trying to figure out ways where something else comes up before you read, or like there's something else to do, or one quick email to answer, or whatever else like that. But like, just do it, and it will just change you, and you'll be ready if the shit hits the fan 3 years from now. Mm-hmm. Like, because you got to be ready. Otherwise, you're going to be like a wind, like a boat flip through the waves or whatever.
Yeah.
That was probably the Message version or something.
That was a weird analogy.
It says that in the Bible.
Like a ship without a rudder?
No, like tossed back and forth like every wind of doctrine. I don't know. It's like a boat in the ocean. I can't remember. We're at 42 minutes.
We are over. This is... Once again, I'll go home and say this was the worst one ever. Dry like toast without butter.
Are we going to do this live event? Who should... Oh, I need to announce some things here. I just forgot that. Yeah, should we do a live event? And who can join us on stage? And what should it be about? If you have any ideas, set them in. But I was wondering if you had an idea. Yeah, I want Nicole and Marie to join us for a bit.
Yeah, that would be good. I don't think we need to do a lot of talking there. I think mostly it could be a big social event. I hate events where you go and you don't, all these people are getting together. I go to these charity things all the time. And
lots of time to hang out.
Okay. Yeah, we're not going to have a long event though, right? Like I got the attention span of a squirrel, right? Like 42 minutes is about the max I have.
2.5 hours?
Or just one 45 minutes or hour. That's enough.
Okay.
Mostly questions, I think.
Just Q&A?
Yeah, Q&A. Not sure if it's better if we're prepared or unprepared.
Unprepared is way better. It's just like the guy.
And heckling from the audience, right? That would be interesting.
That would be fun.
Say what you really think, Gary. I got all these friends afterwards, right? They come to me and it's like, oh, you're a coward.
That's better now, though. No?
No, I still hold a lot back, right? I'm very, very careful.
Did you hold anything back today?
Probably, but I probably am just, after 82 episodes now, I've literally trained myself, because it is a total miracle that I haven't been, like we talk about getting arrested, it is a miracle I've not got arrested yet. Okay. I have a habit of saying really horrible things. Sometimes at our house the other night, I had the boys over and after dinner, and like Micah's like, you should just be locked up.
That's awesome.
Just unhinged.
Okay. Talk about this is my note. Talk about needing someone who can create reels from the podcast for me and post them on different platforms. You need to be a listener of the show, because I want to get someone who understands the nuances in Dutch Reformed culture, because then you know what clips would resonate the most. It's like tried it with
We're losing those listeners like crazy though, right? As we have every time we have Matt Keen on, we lose 3 more, right?
It's pretty easy to do once you get the hang of it.
Right off.
So if you're creative but don't know how to edit reels, I could train you. I know how to do it. I just don't have time to do it. And so I haven't created reels probably like 5 or 6 months now.
Okay.
But I know it's just important for me to do for both the shows. There's a lot of catch up to do as well. So I would pay per reel, but this is more of a love for the show kind of job than it is a big paycheck because I don't.
So if you're really into philanthropy and appreciate the podcast,
I'll pay something. I just won't. I'm not gonna. It's not gonna make you.
It's not gonna be a lot.
No. So if you're know someone or if you're interested in that, hit me up. What else do we have? We talked about the live event. Who could join us? I was thinking about Pastor Matt Shantz. You're gonna do some questions about any Bible questions. He can tell us how off base we are.
Yeah.
Not that he's the ultimate authority, but he'll hopefully point us to where it's.
Yeah, you could have Pastor Jonathan on for that too. I mean, I appreciated the podcast that you had with him. Like he's.
Yeah, I should do another Q&A with him, or he should join us one time.
Yeah,
that'd be good. Yeah, I should ask him. Okay.
Make sure we have some good questions, though. He's not going to want to participate in this verbal diarrhea with no proper agenda. Right?
Well, people send in your questions
pretty proper
on that. Yeah, I think that's a wrap. If you have any questions, send them in. Thanks.
We didn't talk about the economy. We didn't talk about cows. I mean, I feel like
cows. I'm great. It's been a lot recently.
It's been
a lot of meat and cow talk.
It's been enough. Okay.
Guns
and the economy's in the toilet. Yeah. Everybody gives me crap for this too. You're so doom and gloom. And I'm like, have you seen the price of silver and gold and what's going on in the precious metals
30% crash
in one day? Yeah, it's rigged, right? It's a disaster.
Do you think a new monetary system's coming?
At some point.
I think it's going to be
some
close.
point. Yeah. You see the cartoon,
control, baby.
You see the cartoons of the memes where the federal, Jerome Powell. Well, he's gone now. They're bringing a new guy in.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Which caused a lot of the issue.
That caused right?
Allegedly. I mean, anyways, you see Jerome Powell with a machine gun, shooting out the $100 bills, right? Just printing the money or running the money printer, right? And that's why there's something's going to break. I just don't know what it is. I have no clue. If I did, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you. So
you'd be making piles of money.
I'd be.
They're trying to break it. Breaking it gives them control.
Yeah, I just think it always bothers me because I just grew up in such a saving culture. And I have great respect for people that are prudent, even though I'm not prudent myself with money. I have a great respect for people that save and are careful and proper. Proper, it's a dumb term, but you know what I'm trying to say. People that are just people that live within their means, as my mother would say.
Yes.
You should learn to live within your means, Gary.
Yes.
And I think we've basically created a system now where anyone that did that for a whole 2 generations, but for sure one, has completely been left behind and is poor. And that's criminal. And it was done subtly. It wasn't like a public thing where, hey, just so you know, we're devaluating all that stuff you're making. Every time you get a $2 an hour raise, you should be getting 10 to keep up with how much money we're printing as a government and how much we're, increasing the debt load on you as a taxpayer. They never said go borrow in 2000 to 2015. Nobody said buy hard assets, buy a house, even if you can't afford. I mean, people started to realize it because I owned a house since 2003, and from 2015 to 18, it doubled, right, in 3 years. Well, the house prices, quote, I'm doing the quotations, aren't supposed to double. Well, it's because the value of the dollar got cut in half, right? Exactly. It has nothing to do with the value of the house. So it's the same talk now when I talk about crash with people. The crash it's not happening. It's a slow grind down in the real estate market in our area, and there's other areas that are way worse in Canada. So where it will bottom out, nobody knows, but.
Plant some vegetables in the backyard.
And don't stress about it too much, right? It's just money. Can't take it with you. Can't take it with you. None of it. Give it a head. That's it.
Pass it on. Did you listen to my podcast with Paul Weemy on money?
I can't find it.
What do you mean you can't find it?
I literally
podcasts?
I looked everywhere. I looked on YouTube and I looked on Apple Podcasts and I could not find it.
Okay.
And I wanted to listen to it.
That's the other thing. I'm splitting the feeds, guys. So pretty soon, Briefcase of the Barn's going to have a logo. I'm getting some merch done, and it'll have its own feed. And then the Furious Lakira show will have its own feed. And then I recorded my first episode of Hockey Theology last week with David Booth and Noah Welsh. They're both guys that are NHL veterans, and they both are Christian. And so we're going to talk about hockey and Christianity.
Pretty outspoken. For sure, Walsh is. Because I listen to a
Both of
podcast.
them are.
Booth is too?
It's
Okay.
beautiful. It's so funny. I'll send you the episode, Gary. But
Okay.
okay, thanks, guys. Cheers.
Have a good week.
Hey guys, if you enjoyed that episode and were blessed by it, would you be willing to support the show? That would help a lot in creating more content, improving the quality of the content, putting the production value, getting more guests on, and me being able to spend more time and energy towards it. So if you're interested in doing that, you can click up here and it'll take you to a support page. But you can also subscribe to the podcast by clicking over here and doing that. Thanks again for listening, and I'll catch you on the next one.